Hey, what is up YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. I hope you are all doing well. So in today's video, I wanted to do a recap of September 2025 as we are finally heading into Q4 for this year. It has been such a learning curve, so I want to cover all the working lessons from the losses to the wins, and then cover what happens when I follow my system versus when I don't, and then end it all with talking about Trade Day's upcoming competition for the month of October. If you haven't already, feel free to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and let's get into this conversation. So, first and foremost, the overall month really was a time for me to just learn, adjust, adapt, and give myself the grace that I needed. I had just came back from my 6 week recovery period from my accident. I was also just kind of processing all the new things I had to do coming back into normal life alongside trading and social media. And I didn't want to bring as much of the stress into it. So that's why I wanted to give myself the grace that I definitely needed. When I actually decided to do full on trading with everything on the table and making sure that I was executing the way that I was supposed to execute, I didn't feel that immense sense of pressure that I thought I was going to feel, funny enough. So, I think a huge significant reason why I didn't feel as much of that immense pressure like I normally would is because I decided to do something different. I actually printed out this piece of paper. It's two copies in here. I have one printed on the wall and I have one digitally on my computer. But I decided to do this different new step for me because I was tired of making or doing the same actions and getting the same results. You might have seen on my channel the various times of when I was doing exceedingly well, and then the various times of when I was doing exceedingly poor. And that's because I was following the same cycle of boom and bust, time and time again. Every time I would go through these cycles, I felt like I was doing the same exact actions, which is why I got the same exact results. And I always question, like, why am I getting the same things? Why is it always the same errors, the same mistakes, the same blah blah blah? And it was pretty clear that, well, it's because I'm not doing anything different. I talk about doing all these different things, but in reality I had to physically make it be done. And so ever since I printed out, whoopsies, this piece of paper and had it here with me every time that I trade. I read it before my sessions, I read it during my sessions, and even sometimes I'll read it after if I am back testing or if I feel like I want to have a moment of reflection. I need to look at these things. And this piece of paper, which I've shared on live streams, I've shared in the past video, I shared on my YouTube community tab. You could read it if you'd like, but pretty much it talks about why I'm not getting enough payouts, my system to become super duper consistently profitable, and then my two main playbooks that I will be executing majority of the time. So, with all that being said, I felt like the reason why my ripple effect, my domino effect of why things have been feeling less stressful, and also the byproduct, which money is the byproduct of my performance, has been growing is because I've been doing this much better. There's been moments in my journey along the way where yeah, like I've executed and I executed to the plan to get better, and it was for a short amount of time where I would feel that growth, I would feel that change, I would feel that momentum, only for me to just slip back into the old habits and give it all back. And so I'm hoping, for the weeks and months to come, that when I look back to this very moment of September 2025, Q3, that I don't go back into the same habits, that by then I have built enough confidence and, more importantly, consistency with following my system, consistency with following the psychological steps needed to become better, and overall just by then become a better trader than where I was today. I'm not trying to chase X bags, I'm not trying to trade or chase X payouts or X profits. Instead, I want to chase this next level of consistency because I do believe that that is what's going to take me to the next level and become better at this thing. And then the byproduct, the reward of all of that will obviously be the payouts that I'll earn from my accounts. So, yeah, that's kind of like September. Just this realization of this actionable step that it's so simple, it's so small, and yet it's made, I feel like, the biggest change. Maybe it's more to it. Maybe it's because I've been in this thing long enough where I've genuinely gotten to a point where I'm so freaking tired of, again, the same actions and same results, and also tired of just disrespecting myself by not sticking to my plan, by not keeping to my promise, by not just actually becoming better. Maybe I'm becoming better in different ways that I'm not seeing. And I think those baby victories, like I've said before, small victories lead to the big one. Maybe those things have added up too. But when I look back at one just external outlier than everything I've ever done that has made a change, it has to be this. So I'm not saying that this is going to grant and confirm 100% consistent profitability, but I will say from my own experience so far for this past month that it has made a difference. So yeah, there's some lessons that I've learned along the way too, not only from reading this piece of paper and also the way that I've been training, but it's this lesson of I don't need to scale as fast as I'm thinking that I need to. I think when it comes to social media, sometimes, maybe not for every person out there, but for some people, they have this push that they need to level up like other people. They need to be a certain type of person, I should say, this appearance of a super consistent and paid out profitable trader with multiple accounts pulling in six figures a month. It's insane because with social media nowadays and the ability to trade with prop firms is a lot of traders are able to become six figure paid out people because of these resources, and because it's becoming more of a, I don't want to say norm, but definitely more people are starting to catch on and really be able to take advantage of this thing. It's now become like an image that I feel like at one point I wanted to live up to. And that also ties into the whole comparison is a thief of joy, comparing my journey to someone else's. It's not smart. It's not good for anybody to compare themselves to anybody unless you're using it as a reason to feel yourself. But sometimes our mind, the way that we think and the way that we see and the way that we feel things, it process it different. We might think in our head, I want to look at this person and their journey because it's inspiring me and it's motivating me when they're making 100K a month, and it fuels me that yes, trading is possible and that changing your life is possible. But know that you're not at that same level as them just yet. That's what I had to do. I'm not at that same level of these people yet. I don't have what it takes yet to be able to manage all of these different accounts, let alone get to that number without it affecting my mental and emotional capabilities, overall my psychology as a trader. And accepting that, the sooner the better. So I finally came to this point of learning this lesson that I don't need to scale. And I've been trying to slowly add a few different accounts in as I'm trading and building this consistency. And the moments that I'm taking these losses, it's like, okay, maybe in reality, it's still me showing that I'm not ready to actually scale. Maybe it's still time for me to take a moment and just kind of continue to build my consistency, continue to build my confidence. And then when I feel like I'm able to level up, okay, let's add in one more. Oh, no, I didn't do too well. That's okay. Let's focus on the current set of accounts I do have. So this lesson that I don't need to live up to these different expectations people put on me, live up to this expectation of being a profitable, appearing to be a profitable trader with multiple accounts pulling to six figures a month. I will get there in due time, but in reality, it's not right now, and that's okay. I'll keep to my cute amount that I have, and I'll do my best with these ones, and I'll go from there. So, wow, price just hit the that target of that trade that I got, that I exited myself out of because I just couldn't hold it no longer. That's insanity. So, anyways, yeah, that's kind of like September in the recap of this, the different things that I've seen, that the changes that I've made that kind of led to where I'm at now. It's the piece of paper made the biggest change. It's following the system. It's executing to it the majority of the time. And it's also recognizing that personal life and my events that I went through have definitely motivated me to become better. Maybe not motivates the right word, but it put an extra positive pressure on me to become better. So to touch base on that too, the Europe trip that I took in the middle of summer, as well as the recent accident that I had, I won't get into details about what happened and all the different things that I was thinking and feeling, but essentially, life is short. It would be wrong of me not to take advantage of the time I have on this earth, let alone it would be wrong of me not to fully put everything I have into making my dreams and a reality, as well as reaching these goals and these promises I held to myself that I want to do for other people. This purpose that I have internally that I want to push forward on. I have so much that I want to do before I pass away. And the more that I slack off, the more that I don't take it more serious, and more importantly, the more that I don't consistently do the action and the right steps, it's going to take even longer for me to get to said goal, or get to said, making dream a reality, get to said accomplishments and purpose, fulfillment, and all that stuff. There's people in my life that I want to take care of. There's people that I love that I want to see them succeed, and they're not asking of me. They're not making a responsibility of mine. They're not holding me accountable for these things, but they are holding me accountable in the sense of, if you said you're going to do it, you got to do it. Even if you fail, that's okay. The fact that you tried, it doesn't make you a failure. The fact that you're willing to put yourself out there and do the darn thing, that is a win in itself, because people are led to believe that you have to just go to school, get a job, stay there for the rest of your life until, I think the retirement age now in the US is 67, maybe 70. Work until you're pretty much retired at that age, and then have fun. Work hard and then play later. But I don't want to do that. I want to be more. I want to do more. I want to just push for more, and I want to be able to live up to the accountability people are holding of me, that I will put myself all to it, even if I don't make it to the end goal. At least I tried. And so all of these thoughts and these reflections I've been having, I had nothing but time on my hands this past month and 6 weeks as well. Like, it's just been so much. And so I wanted to include it in this video specifically versus the last one I had, because I think that lesson really stood out to me, and part of the reason why I feel like September was such a huge turning point for me. I may not be having the turning point of, hey, I'm taking 100K in payouts, or hey, I'm funded with 50,000 different accounts and firms, but rather the turning point of, everything feels different in a good way. It feels refreshing. I have a system that I know works. I have playbooks that I know work for me. I feel like I'm at a different point in my trading now. I'm about to hit 3 years in November. The end of November is 3 years. And I'm not saying that now is when I'm going to turn the point of consistent super duper profitability, although I would like that. I'm going to manifest it. But rather, I'm starting to feel these positive influences and traits that I didn't necessarily have very often before. And the more I can build on this confidence and this consistency, I do believe that anything can change. You've seen so many losing days of mine. You've seen days where I've blown my accounts. You've seen posts where I've talked bad on myself. You've seen all the ugly stuff that I've shared throughout my journey, most importantly in the written stuff, because that's how I journal. But it is very important, I think, to also embrace the wins and the accomplishments. And so, that gives you the sense of balance of understanding that trading has the ups and downs, and that you have to learn how to maneuver through both the ups and the downs, and also even the moments where it's pretty plain and neutral and boring. Being able to maneuver through that is important as well. And I hope that one day, very soon, I can get through and get to that point of, everything is boring, and it's boring because I'm doing the same things over and over. I'm following my plan. I'm following my system. I'm following the consistency. And then obviously the exciting part is when I get paid out, and the exciting part is being able to say I followed my plan. So anyways, price is really ripping here. But yeah, that's kind of the whole recap of September from everything I kind of wanted to discuss. And then now I want to talk about the things I've learned from, or I shouldn't even say learn, but more so the very clear evidence of what happens when I follow my system versus when I don't follow my system. So going into my funded futures accounts, and I'm showing this one and my Lucid specifically, and my Tradeify because that's the example for when I don't follow my system. But I'm showing these ones specifically because I was actually live streaming last week where I was showing these accounts and everything, and this is also the accounts that I passed last week on stream. So I thought it would, be right to include it in this video to show, again, the clear evidence of what happens when I follow versus don't follow a system. So last Monday, I think, or Tuesday, I had started 2 of the 50K core accounts. I passed them within 3 days, roughly. Don't quote me on that. I think it's about 3 days passing for both sets, but I'll have to double check. So in any case, I passed them, and then here we are today, a full week later, and I've already been able to grow 2,000 plus in profits for the 2 funded accounts I passed. And then last week I started 2 new 50K core accounts, and that's because I had a pass one get one coupon. And with passing the first 2, got the 2 other evals for free. If I didn't pass the 2 free evals, then, I accepted it. Like, not only is it not a financial loss, but also it's, it's just a free account and it's just evaluation accounts. But I've obviously wanted to pass them because passing it could lead me to being funded, which leads to more payouts. But more importantly, passing it using the system that I know can work, that works for me. And that's exactly what I did. Finally, as of today, I was able to pass another 2 accounts. And with that, I'm funded with 4 of the 50K My Funded Features accounts, following primarily my system. And it's not to say that my system is the only one that works in the world. It's not to say that, again, I've fully turned a corner, but it's to say and to show of when I do follow what works for me, it does play out. And this is a byproduct of it. This is a reward for following my system. And I will put the disclaimer, I'm fully human. I'm 100% human. I'm going to make mistakes. I have emotions. I'm not picture perfect. I am still a student of the market. I'm still learning. So I'm going to have, moments where I'm going to falter, or I'm not going to have picture perfect trades. And in these accounts, I've had moments where I haven't had picture perfect trades. There's moments where I had to use some discretion in it, using my own judgment based on the trade. Based on my emotions. Is it time for me to exit early because I'm feeling tilty? Is it time for me to cut the trade early because I see that maybe price is going to have a structure shift instead of, letting it come fully to my stop? There's different things that we have to go through as traders, and we get to a point where we can use those experiences, and that's why chart time is important. But this is what could happen if I continue to follow my system. And I'm very proud of it. I'm honestly very, very proud of it. And even with the losses I've taken, with whether it's losing accounts this month or losing trades this month, I'm very proud at the end of this month of September to say that this is a different feeling. This really has shown me what can happen when I really stick to it. When I really stick to something that works. Just now it's the point of building consistency of it, getting better at following it so that I can have, even more rewards like this. And I think the best reward that I've been feeling is not even the money that I've been making and the payouts that I've taken and that will take this week, but the win that I feel the most is that, wow, I followed my system and it feels freaking good. And I want to keep chasing that dopamine hit more than chasing the dopamine hit of profits on a screen or payouts that I'm taking. Obviously, I'm grateful for those when they come, but that's the dopamine hit I want to get, is following my system. So this is evidence that of what can happen when I follow. This is also evidence of what can happen when I follow. It's quite simply that my accounts are all, grown, and I'm able to finally take my first ever payouts with lucid trading. I'm so excited, and I can't wait to record this process. I've been talking about them for the past few weeks as well. So this is going to be great. But the fact that I've been able to grow the accounts the way I have, past the accounts that I did, to finally get to this point, and then with this set of accounts, it's more of like the excitement behind it because I followed my system the most versus all the other accounts I've traded with them. Now I can take out a payout as a reward for following my system. So I'm gonna do that tonight for the first one, and then the other two I'm gonna take it tomorrow, which will go towards October's month. But that's fine. It's still same week and still same excitement because it came from following my system, with even a majority of my trades following the system, and then some, obviously, again, I'm human, I'm going to make mistakes and it's not going to work out. And obviously when the system doesn't work or when the trade opportunity doesn't work, it's going to take the loss, but that's fine. And then now I want to show the example of what happens when I don't follow my system. This right here is just a moment I'm going to take back, screenshot this, take a note of it. I'm probably going to print it and put it on this wall right here, because apparently printing things and looking at it over and over is a good reminder for me. But this is what happens when I don't follow my system. The trade that I took, I actually don't recall if the trade worked, but even then, even if the trade did not work, I should have still had enough wiggle room to keep trading for either another trade, for another day, for whatever. But instead, I went against 2 of my bullet points from my paper, and that is why it led me to the loss I have today. So the first bullet point, this is for the top portion. I let my emotions become bigger than they need to be, and then I act on them. In this case, I acted on the emotions of feeling FOMO, of feeling greed, of feeling this necessity to make more. And at this point, my mindset was focused on chasing the bag. And then the second part is managing my contract sizing and tabs, copy, etc., for accounts to be prepared. I did not manage my contract sizing because I was acting impulsively based on my emotions. So it sucks to have to point it out, right? Obviously, no one likes to lose. It doesn't feel nice to have to show this, but I'm proud that I'm able to easily pinpoint my problem, and that gives me further confirmation that this is a weakness for me and I need to keep working on it. And that's why I have this paper. Had I done better and I read this paper while in that trade, I honestly feel confident I probably would have stopped myself from entering more positions and be able to and to have had this red day that I did. It's only a daily loss limit, so I still have tomorrow to trade and potentially make it back, or I shouldn't say that. I should say potentially follow my system better. But this is the consequence of continuing to build on a bad habit that I had and also going against my system. I need to get better at it. I need to do better. And here's my example of it. So, I'm ending September overall still very proud of the progress I've made, the confidence I'm starting to feel. But this red day on these two specific accounts is also another strong reminder going into Q4 that this was what will happen if you don't do better by following your system, by being consistent. I probably said those two words or two things so many times in this video. You could make me a billionaire for a dollar every time I said those things. I'm a billionaire. So, yeah, I just have to keep reiterating and emphasize the importance of what's working for me and knowing that this is the reward of when it works and when I follow it. This is the consequence of when I don't follow it. Again, it could have been this entire DLL could have been mitigated had I just had smaller contract sizing, because that goes against the system. It's managing the right contract sizing. One, maybe two minis would have been enough instead of going heavy in on my trades to try to make something of it. And mind you, these accounts are still new. It's not like I need them to go all the way to pay out as if on the first day. No, these are sim funded or lightning funded, straight to sim funded accounts. So I have to build my way to that first payout anyways with a consistency rule. So why am I trying to rush it? So in any case, that is the overall breakdown of my month of September, with the learnings, the lessons, the wins, also talking about what happens when I follow the system versus when I don't follow the system. And now the final piece I wanted to cover, because this is going to be for the whole month of October, is actually the Influencer Cup by Trade Day. I'm super thankful that they invited me to be a part of it. I'm excited and also very nervous to do this. The last time I did a tournament is with My Fun Futures. The first one ever, I did exceedingly well, more than I thought. I wasn't trying to win these competitions in the beginning to try to, make money from it or get the account. I just really wanted to test myself. I posted that whole kind of journey on my channel, that first ever tournament, and I was really proud, honestly, of what came from it. But then the second tournament My Fun Futures held, I didn't do too hot, and that's primarily because I pretty much YOLO'd that account. I saw that a lot of people from the first tournament and the current, or that second one, they were just full on going in like they didn't care, and I think they just maybe wanted to do it either for the prize at the end or whatever the case may be, prove that they're number one. But for me, I just did it because I wanted to try that out too. It was a free account, and I probably should have handled it better, but I just YOLO'd it. It is what it is. So for this Influencer Cup account, given everything that I discussed on the video today with trying to follow the plan, trying to follow consistency, try to just be better as a trader overall and focus on that, I would like to bring the same kind of energy in here. Admit and embrace that I'll make losses and make wins. I'll also make mistakes. There's times where I'll falter, maybe waver, but I don't want to invite that kind of energy in. I don't want to say that that's all I'll be doing. I want to manifest that I'm going to be consistent with this account and do my absolute best. I'm not sure if I'll be recording the series for the channel. Maybe I should, if that's something you guys are interested in. Or if you do want to follow along, I'll leave a link in the description for this particular page, because if you scroll down, you'll see that there's actually quite a bit of people that are participating. Right here, I'm number 5, Trades with Jess. And if you go down a bit more, there is some excitement that comes from it too. So I'm not doing this primarily to win cash for me or anything like that. I really want to win this or do well in it so then I can give to you guys. There's going to be weekly account giveaways with Trade Day. I believe it depends if you're in the funded stage versus the evaluation stage. In either stage that you're on, you will be given free accounts. So I think that's going to be cool. So there should be 2 leaderboards, the eval leaderboard and then the sim funded leaderboard. And then on top of the account giveaways that we'll be doing during the tournament, if I do end up taking this all home, taking the W, there's a 10K cash prize. So 5K, I think, for me, and then 5K for the community. I have to double check about all the prizes and stuff and how this is going to work. But it's a great chance to be able to give back to you guys regardless of where I'm at. If I do good, if I do bad, it won't matter. It's going to be mainly to give back to you guys and be able to share the amazing word about Trade Day, because I've been loving them. You guys know that I've been training with them for a while, and you guys know that I've been talking at them about them for a while. So this is exciting to do something in collaboration with them, and I just hope that I can do well for myself and for you guys. So yeah, again, link in the description to check this influencer cup out, so you guys can look at everything. But yeah, that's everything I wanted to cover in today's video. I know that it was a bit of a long one, but I really appreciate all of your time and your support. It means a lot. It keeps me going. Last week's live streams were random and spontaneous, but they were absolutely fun, and I didn't have as much pressure on my shoulders during those times. And so I'm looking forward to doing something similar. I wanted to do it this week, but I've just been a little bit, I'll just say, I haven't managed my time well to do that. But we'll see when time comes, when it's time to live stream. It's just been for fun. It's not like it's a scheduled event or anything like that. But I do love winning with you guys. I love chatting with you guys, and I'm just super thankful for you guys. So, as always, I wish you nothing but the best and the most success in all that you do. And I will see you all in the next video.